Yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice to see everyone. Thank you very much. We're honored to be presenting here. So my name is Michel Finzi. I am the Chief Commercial Officer for True Digital. True Digital is a New York-based fintech company. We help traditional financial institutions make the move from the traditional to the digital. So, broadly speaking, we're involved in a couple things. At the center of our ecosystem is an asset tokenization platform. We use this platform to help us create a number of different offerings for our clients. We partner with our clients to deliver solutions which help them better serve their customers. We have delivered into production a real-time corporate payments platform, which I would like to talk to you about today. And we're taking that and evolving into delivering a DVP, or Delivery versus Payment Settlements platform, and as well tokenizing, working with some folks to tokenize other assets. So let me tell you a little bit about our company. So, fintech company, we're based out of New York. We have a small presence in London. We will be expanding. We like to say we provide innovative solutions to the financial markets. That's where we started. That's where a lot of us come from. But also, we're increasingly speaking with corporations. Our solutions are blockchain-enabled, is how we refer to them. And the first use cases that we've delivered are those that permit the seamless transfer of assets and ultimately the settlement of transactions in those assets. We're 35 people. We have a lot of developers. But our management team and a lot of the people that come and populate our offices and ride up and down the elevator every day have extensive experience dealing with exchanges, banks, very large hedge fund managers, technology companies, so we have a very well-rounded perspective. We all we know people in the industry, and we try and leverage those relationships to help us work with our clients to solve interesting problems. We have experience building systems at scale, so we try and really think about that. And when we're dealing with financial institutions that often tie into very important downstream systems, it's really important to integrate our technologies into anything else we do with other people. Anytime we deliver our technology into their systems. So we think about scale. And perhaps most importantly, and I'll say this a couple times, we're very pragmatic. There are lots of big ambitions for new technology whenever they arise, but what we have found works the best is that you focus on a very specific use case, figure out how to do that well, start small, and build. So I mentioned from a technology perspective, we have a blockchain-enabled technology stack. It's not blockchain only. We will leverage blockchains and ledgers where they make the most amount of sense. We use smart contract technologies to help in the creation of tokens for our payments platform and the redemption of those tokens, which I'll describe. So we really wrap essentially our blockchain with smart contracts, traditional applications, and given how we've approached things, we use a microservices architecture to allow us to scale as the platform is expanded by our customers, as they extend from one customer segment to many more customer segments. The work we've done and that we'll talk today about is private permissioned for a number of reasons, although our technology and our platform is chain agnostic. And again, it's all about creating a solid foundation and being pragmatic, because the most important thing is to drive, and the segments that we serve, is to show that things are possible, that customer experiences can be improved, and that ultimately you can lay a very solid foundation upon which to grow. A couple things about private versus public. The market wants private permission right now. The demand for it is growing. There is no question as to whether DLTs make sense or they do not. That's a foregone conclusion. The question that we face all the time when we talk to our customers is, I get it, how can it help me? I understand the concept, but I want to know how it can help me and help us make more money, better serve our customers, defend and grow our business. Private offers a number of options. You can control governance, configuration, the nodes, the selection of your strategy around nodes, and it's a lot more about control, access, and scalability. Public chains, fantastic. Perhaps, maybe one day the world will evolve. Our world anyway will evolve to embracing more public than private implementations, but today it starts private. The good news is that there's an extension path. So let me take you through a little bit about what we're doing on the real-time payments platform. Again, blockchain-enabled technology. Start here. A live use case. We'll start with this. We have a couple things going on right now, but we partnered in late 17, early 18 with, we partnered in 2018 with a commercial bank in New York to deliver at the end of 2018 and into production at the beginning of this year, January of 2019, the first of its kind real-time blockchain-enabled payments platform. This platform has been reviewed by the New York Department of Financial Services, which is a very important regulator in this space. It's been live, and we're now talking with others and have other use cases culminating in billions of dollars being transacted and growing on every dimension that matters. So the benefits of this platform are very straightforward. The ability to transfer and pay, so clients can send money, is obvious. We do it, ourselves individually, but from a corporate perspective, it's a little bit more complicated, or has been, and there really should be no reason for that. So clients can transact and send and receive and create and destroy tokens in their account however they want. The way it works when we deploy this within a bank is that you have to become a bank customer. You have to go through all of their KYC processes, etc. You're granted access to the platform to make these real-time payments, so you're an approved client, and then you can transfer and pay today just with other folks in the network that our clients pick. So again, this isn't something that we pick, this isn't something we push onto them, this is something we help them build for their uses. That's generally our approach. So the ability to transact 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year is very valuable for certain customer segments. And so the other piece to this is that the way these transactions actually occur in the platform through digital representations of currency that they have on deposit. So these are not secondary market trading activity. These are stable coins that are tokenized dollars in one case, turned into these currencies that are moved and then redeemed on the other side, is that you have a guaranteed confirmation of transaction completion. For those who know the banking world, that's hard to do using traditional rails and traditional infrastructure. With our platform delivered to customers and them using it to deliver to their clients, all of this is possible. It allows for the platform itself is extensible, it's scalable, and then finally, for the customers there's benefit, but for the bank sponsor, the bank who's giving this to their customers, there's also benefits. They get to see all of the transaction history that goes on across everybody in their network in real time, making them much more efficient in terms of how they reconcile and settle, ultimately report back to the very important downstream systems that they have to interact with. So, very simply, the benefits to a bank that would use this stuff: attract more customers, get more deposits, be more efficient, open up new markets. If you couldn't get to that customer segment because you didn't have what they needed, you can't get them. Improve a bunch of processes. For the clients, the ability to transact in real time, have confirmation of those transactions, very, very useful, very helpful, and that instant reconciliation allows them to just be much more efficient in their business. And we'll talk about it a bit more, but one of the biggest benefits of digitizing the payment rails is, as more assets become offered digitally, represented on blockchains, and digitized within exchanges, on tokenization platforms such as Tassat's tokenization platform, one can envisage that there's a more effective way to settle transactions in those digital assets. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the three main functions, very simple. You know, if you want clients to use anything, you've got to give the clients a very simple application to use, even though they may be doing some very sophisticated things behind the scenes. So the first thing one of these clients would do is deposit into their account to create tokens by corresponding with the back-end systems of the bank to ensure that one token equals $1. Send those, and then I either send or I receive. When I receive them back, I can either keep them or I can send them to somebody else. And so let me give you a quick, this is what, to give you an idea of what the experience looks like. Here's a simple ledger. You'll see on the left a bunch of different accounts, a transaction history, very easily toggle across the accounts, settle on US dollar in this example, click a button, send. Pick from a predetermined register who you want to send it to. And in this animation, we've used a 15-second confirmation time, and then you have an unambiguous blockchain record plus a record of the entire transaction that you can refer to, and you're done. And all of your history and all of the details is right in front of you. All of this is exportable. It can be read by machine. It can be accessed through a user interface. We are working, although we have not made too much noise about this, we're working with another entity, a couple of entities, on a remittance use case. So on the back end, we can also deliver we're working on a mobile use case for more traditional peer-to-peer-like payments. And again, where does this all go? Well, once the payment rails are digitized, and as more assets become tokenized, you would typically send money to someone in return for receiving some good or a service or an asset. And so we've been working with some customers next on creating essentially a settlements platform. So this is a very simple illustration. Say client A agrees to purchase something from client B, maybe an issuer of a digitized security, maybe some sort of representation of a physical asset. Today, there's a big problem. Who goes first after you've done the transaction? Right? Do you send the money and then get the good? Do you wait for somebody to deliver you the good, then send the money? Well, once these are digitized, tokenized payments, digitized assets, it's very easy to envisage a lockbox scenario where the payer puts money into a lockbox, the asset holder puts the asset in the lockbox, an escrow agent observes they're both funded, facilitates the transaction, and then reports them to their applicable blockchain. If only one side feeds in their component, the money only comes in, but the asset doesn't show up, then there's rollbacks and provisions that can be configured. And the platform can be configured such that it is possible to have different levels of hierarchy, so there's more control. Again, we tend to deal with a part of the market that is very heavily regulated. There's all sorts of checks and balances which have to exist in the system, so we design those as such. So lots of benefits accrue to the participant, real-time gross settlement, tremendous amount of settlement risk reduction if this can be created more programmatically, better cash management for the sponsor that's putting it out in front of their clients, all sorts of interesting benefits from better legal, more comprehensive compliance, more effective uses of treasury in the finance side, better audit, The list, there are quite a few. So this is what the payments platform looks like. You remember that? So imagine now, what will give you a little bit of some idea of the direction in which we're heading. So now you click on a wallet and you're presented with a series of transactions. So in this particular instance, there's 3 transactions. There's a bond transaction in which the sending side in the blue, up on the left, has actually funded their lockbox, but is awaiting funding from the other side for the bonds. There's a transaction that's pending the sending of shares of assets, and there's one where there's a settled transaction. So our user experience, again, will be very simple, but in the background, what's happening is client A is funding a lockbox, client B is funding a lockbox, and there's a set of rules that govern the settlement of that transaction. Click a button, and you can see the different, we provide the ability to give a little bit of visibility of what's happened on one side of the equation. Click another, you can see transaction history, including some of the records and the wallet addresses. Again, everything done digitally. And then finally, the way you feed transactions into this system is by simply clicking a button in the upper left, and send. You can basically define the send side, the receive side. This can be imported via file, it can be dropped in from some other source. The whole platform will be able to be populated in this way. So, briefly, we've talked about it. So our raison d'etre, why we exist, is to work on tokenization and help traditional financial institutions embrace how they can actually leverage private permission blockchains for now, smart contract technology, and then traditional infrastructure that can scale in such a way that they can improve their processes, improve their customer experience, and then get into new businesses. Because what's happening in the world, for example, there are exchanges now that are looking to list nothing but digital assets. The entire global brokerage world that will serve those clients who want to trade in those digital assets will need to settle transactions in those digital assets. And so there are very logical use cases which are coming, if they're not here already. And our first step here has been to work on the payments rail side, and then take our tokenization and then work with them to help digitize some assets if that's what they want, but ultimately settle the transactions is the next direction in which we're heading. So, that's us at a very high level. We will be here for a couple days, my colleagues and I. If I can leave you with one thought, our objective in life is to show and focus on the traditional financial markets, show them that it is possible to get into this space. We've delivered our products into production, they're being used, they grow, and we look forward to continuing to innovate. Anyway, we will be at this conference. Xie xie, thank you very much for your time. Look forward to speaking with you.